E aí, galera? Hey. So, yeah, let's start another live today. Uh, Hopefully, you get new people to join our channel and see some open source contribution and side projects. So, as for today, I'm going to test something new that I heard about. It's been quite a while actually, so it's not really new, but uh, the the thing is this muzak lib that Devon Estes created. Thanks for that, by the way, Devon. So the idea is basically mutation testing. For those of you that don't know, mutation testing is basically testing your tests. So for example, you have this test suite that you have like multiple tests that actually check your code, right? But who then say, hey, these tests are good enough or not? So the idea is that Muzak, this lib, is going to change your codes, like tiny bits of your code, and it's going to re-execute for every tiny bit that it changes. Is going to execute the whole suite of tests, and if no test fail, it means your test didn't test that actual change, right? So basically it fails when the tests do not fail, right? So then you know, hey, I have to write a new test for this, or maybe change some of the existing tests. So without further ado, let's dive into it. I'm going to install this on this holidefs lib. I did some other lives with it, like on this lib for other pull requests to actually change the lib. But this one is going to just add tests. I'm not really proud of the amount of tests that we have, and I really do not. Uh, uh, I used to be someone that really cared about test coverage, you know. There's another lib I created, which is this Triplex lib on a past company I worked for, and this one has around 100% test coverage. But after some discussions with friends, I realized maybe like okay, 100% test coverage means that your tests go through all the lines, but it doesn't mean that it actually tested this line. It just went through. Maybe it tested something else, like, and it didn't test the actual result of that line, right? So maybe in the future I'm going to add it to holidefs, because I'm quite sure it's going to fail, because the tests are not like it's not extremely tested, right? But maybe it could do another live in the future comparing it to Triplex. And hey, Akliemke, I'm not sure how to say your name, but hey, welcome, and hopefully you enjoy the lives. So let me know if you have any question. I'm totally here for you, actually. So I'm, and also just a disclaimer: I never used Muzak. I don't even know how to configure it. Hey, Paulo, yo, cool. Thanks for watching. So yeah, never used Muzak, and I'm learning with you right now. So let's see. Maybe it fails miserably, and you're going to laugh at me. But I don't know. It's just turning on the cam and doing whatever I feel like, right? So let's do it. I already have it cloned here on my local machine, and I'm on master. Let's just update, check if everything in there is updated, already up to date, right? So let's go through getting started. So to get started with mutation testing, first add muzak as a dependency on your mix ix. So I'm going to open the mix EXS actually. IEX is another tool. So I have to add the preferred client muzak test. All right, there is already a preferred client here. All right, there is already coverage configured. So muzak test. All right, and write this one, adding on the depths. I think that's it, right? Let me put it next to the coveralls because both are related to testing. So mix depths get, mix muzak. That's it. Feels pretty simple, right? So for those who don't know, Elixir mix is this general tool that you do everything, like you run tasks, you get your dependencies from the global repository, which is called Hex package manager, right? So yeah, the muzak was downloaded with the 1.1 version. Let me check actually if this is the last version. Yeah, it looks like it is 1.1.0, released January 10th, so was updated pretty recently for an Elixir lib. Some people actually argue that sometimes there are libs, like Triplex, for example, the lib that I created. They argue, hey, the last, like it was 2 years ago the last time you updated it. That's mostly because one, not many people use it, of course, right? So there's not a chance that other people are going to contribute to it and other people are going to miss something here or there. But the thing is, I didn't have to actually update it because not many people came to me with bugs and stuff that, and we used to use this on production, so it's working well, right? So that's I'm almost sure Atelier, the company that actually I worked for in the past, and we created this project inside, still uses it on production projects. If anyone from Atelier could say, hey, we use it or not, that would be cool. Also, not sure if anyone is from there is listening, but anyways, there's not too many downloads of it, but other libs like even Elixir itself. So I heard some time ago that a guy came in on the issue list and created a new issue saying, hey, your issue list is too short. Like, is this project still active? Like, as if you don't have like 100 issues on the issue list on GitHub, it means no one uses it, and it's not true. Actually, maybe there's not too many issues at all. I mean, why care that much about the issue count, right? And the amount of updates a lib gets. So back to it, like the dependencies are there, and so I heard that muzak will randomly generate up to 1,000 mutations. Your application run your test suite against each of them. If your application contains more than 1,000 possible mutations, then you may see different results for subsequent runs. Right, cool. Let's try to run. So I heard that it's actually going to take a long time because like it does this one little change to your code and then it runs all the tests and then it goes back to running this other one little change and back to, if it isn't broken, why fix it? Yeah, that's basically the argument they use to explain, right? To explain why not too many issues and not too many updates. So other communities don't think the same way. They say, hey, if there's isn't like any update, other people are going to say that, and then maybe we should like rewrite it some like in some other way to make it better, right? But then they break everything and they just release it as 2.0, and everyone that wants to go from 1.x to 2.0 just needs to rewrite their whole system. So yeah, I don't like that. I really don't like when I have to do this kind of stuff. And I never had to do that on Elixir. I'm already working with Elixir like for more than 4 years, and I never had to rewrite my code because hey, this new thingy came in Elixir and it broke everything, or it came in Phoenix, which is the default web server. Well, yeah, let's go back to the thing here. So function from name, no function clause matching, function from name, CA Victoria Day. So it already, I'm not sure if this is an error, like an actual error that is happening on holidefs per se, or if it actually is a muzak error. So definition rule, let me see, definition rule 150, CA Victoria Day. Maybe I should be running actually on top of one of my other branches, because I kind of rewrote this whole loading system to be at compile time. Let's run it on top of this branch. Let me stash it, and because I plan to actually merge that really soon, so git stash pop mixdeps get, just to make sure. All right, mix muzak again. I think that error should go away now because it's changed, and if it didn't went away, then we have to solve it, right? Oh, this info stuff here. So yeah, it's running. As you can see, there are some Fs and dots printed in the middle here. Basically, it is running, and every one of these Fs means, hey, they changed it here, and one of the tests failed. So if they change and it failed, it's tested, it's okay, right? I guess this is going to take a lot of time. As far as I understood, it actually exits the first time it checks. It tries to check, and the test actually passed. Like for the first mutation that actually failed, it means that the test actually did not fail. They're gonna stop it and say, hey, there's no test that checked this actual mutation. I was not expecting this. Like it's executing a lot of mutations already, and it looks like most of them passed. I'm going to maybe install that on another project after this, if nothing failed, or even remove a test, right? Why not? Let me see muzak documentation. Maybe it has more details on it. Hex docs, muzak. This hex docs thing here, like for every library that you post on HexPM as a contributor, it's going to auto-generate these docs on top of what you actually define on your code as docs here. Like for example, config it says that there's no doc for this one, but the main one probably has docs. The main module muzak, it actually doesn't too. Let's see which modules has. Oh, they actually removed all the docs. Yeah, Devon actually removed all the docs for this one, but I know that for Triplex we have. So on Triplex, I can go to the code somewhere. Modules here. I can go here and you can see like this add module doc that I wrote on my code. When I published it, it got compiled and to these HTML pages. So this is like docs that are both accessible here on HexDocs, and oh, here it failed. So cool. Yeah, so 500 mutations were run and 297 survived. So 40% of your mutations were found. Not sure if I understand the actual. Oh, cool. So it generates some very interesting mutations. Like it changes the actual strings, the values for the strings, the values for... Interesting. So it tested some mixed tasks. Right? Interesting. Like I guess every single line of this, it was like a mutation that was not tested. Like this, for example, probably they changed this and no test failed because of this change, because I actually didn't test it that on holidefs download, when running it, there will be this deleted thingy. Interesting. So yeah, I guess the most important ones are these ones, like the ones that are on the lib itself and not on the mixed tasks, because this mixed task here is like a local mixed task. I actually changed that too. It's on another branch actually. It's a mixed task that is not... I mean, I don't even know if I have tests for it. Download, yeah, I don't have tests for this mixed task. Mostly because it's not exported to the public, or it should not be at least, because it's just a task I wrote to actually download the YAML files from like the calendar definitions from the Ruby repository, because I based my holidefs library on top of the holidays definitions that we have on the Ruby holidays gem, right? So yeah, I guess there's no point on actually testing this, and this should go away on this other pull request that I opened for, which is this one, because I moved the... yeah, I moved these two files out of the library repository, the lib folder. So it's not going to test it anymore, as dev support is not on the Elixir RC paths for test, only for dev, right? So on test, it's not going to load these files, and as it's not going to load these files, there will not be these files to be changed by muzak, I guess, right? It's all guessing. But hey, interesting. It also changes the custom functions, the definitions. Let me see down there. I think I saw like this changes to... oh no, it was on the lib extract there. So yeah, I guess I'm going to actually merge that other branch here, so that this go away and we check again. Like I'm going to merge this to master because it's, all right, I need a review. Yeah, I need a review from someone on some of my colleagues. Anyone from Team Week there, from Toggle Plan there, if you could review it, please. Anyways, I'm going to try to fix one of those and rerun muzak. So yeah, as you saw, this thing actually changes my code, but there was Devon Estes was on this podcast, Thinking Elixir, and he actually mentioned this change. It doesn't happen like on my actual code. If you go there and check like the status, even if it fails, there's no other change except the ones I actually did, right? So I actually did myself. So it actually changes the compiled version of the code, right? It changes the beam files. So it's pretty cool. Let's try to check to fix one of them. Like the date calculator here, I know I could test this, right? Like it changed one of these. So custom functions 375. I actually wanted to check here. Yeah. Let's check the rule. Rule 39. All right. Rule 39. So basically there's no test that's guaranteeing that this is testing. This, if you change it to 9, like no test actually checked it. So what I could do is to check where this is used, right? Valid weekdays. All right, it's used on the build. And if I'm not mistaken, I already have tests for this. So here's the test. Let me just, yep. So yeah, there's tests for build, but not many tests. So let's describe build 2 just to do. And write more tests that checks the valid weekdays, right? So I'm going to test all the valid weekdays, 4, 1 to 10, actually 1 to 7, right? Which are the valid weekdays. Do I set this on the and I'm going to call rule.build. The first one is the code, doesn't matter. The second one is the month, it actually doesn't matter too. And the third one is the valid weekdays. So it should be failing, it should be passing for all this, right? So assert a rule is built for every single. So I have to set a name. Weekday test. And a week and a weekday, right? So a week, I'm going to put 1, and a weekday, I'm going to put I, right? Which is 1 to 7 here. So, and I have to assert that a function clause error is sent, like it's raised for every other number, not every other. I'm going to test like 0. Oops, it's not this one. It's 0, and also going to assert for 8, right? So I tested all the valid ones and the other invalid ones. So if I rerun muzak, at least one should be like maybe one more here and one less. I really don't know what does that means. Devon, if you watch it, maybe making it clear what this number actually means. Like, it means that 297 survived. It means that the test didn't fail, so you have to work to reduce that number, or the survived actually probably means that, right? Like, yeah. Let's see. It took a while before too, so if you have any questions about muzak, as you saw, it's pretty easy. You just have to add it to your library and like add it to your library and run the muzak command. And you can actually run this on like a scheduled CI, like every week on the weekends you run it, because like this project, this holidefs project, is pretty small. Let me see if you like everything is fine. Okay, I have 3 viewers right now, so thanks for watching, you 3 guys there and girls, I don't know. But hey, so holidefs is pretty small. There's not many code there. There's like just 69 commits. Is there any like 100% elixir? But there's not much lines of code in this whole project, so there are not many possible mutations, right? I'm sure that running this on a Phoenix project, for example, on your system, it's going to take a lot more time. It's already going to take like it's already taking a lot of time from holidefs, right? Because yeah, it's even locked on there. So if I run mix test, all right, so this is how much time it takes to actually run tests once. And I just realized that the tests I actually wrote didn't work, right? So as you can see, like it takes less than 0.2 seconds to actually run the whole suite of tests that I have. So yeah, what is happening? So the function weekday, this is the one that should be matching. So when week equals -4 -3 -2 -1, oh no, it is 1. Yeah, it is 1. I am sending it as 1, right? Yeah, and the weekday is between 1 and 7. It should match for this one. Why is it actually matching? The name is there. Let's test it manually. So this is actually the code that I want to test manually. Let's copy it until the I there. Oops, I thought I was selecting it here. Weekday 1, and this should pass. And it looks like it's not passing. Alias holidefs dot definition dot rule. All right, why it didn't match? Week. Oh, it's W day, not weekday. Now I see why. So if I run mix test again here, it's going to pass, right? So let's go back to running actual muzak, and now it's everything all right. So yeah, the idea with muzak is that you should run it on a suite that is actually passing if no code is changed, right? That there's no point on actually testing the tests that actually already fail. So yeah, now it's passing, but as you can see, it takes like 0.1 seconds to run 0.1 to 0.2 seconds to actually run my tests for this library, and it's already taking a long time for muzak to test it. So what means that for like big projects, it's going to take a lot more, not just because the whole test suite takes more time, but also because the thing is it's going to have more code, what means that more mutations could be generated. Like for less code, which is what I have here, it's already generating 500 mutations. So it's 500 times 0.1 seconds. So that's why, oh, 0. So it's already taking 50 seconds, around 50 seconds, probably more, because it actually boots up your system and queues your system every time it tries to run. So it's more than 0.1, probably 100 seconds. It's around 100 seconds the time it takes. Let's see. And for big projects, it's going to take a long time, like really long time. So I would totally suggest you to run it like maybe every week in the weekend on your CI, and let it go through all your tests, and check if your tests are actually testing everything they should be testing, right? So my idea with this is actually I wanted to test it on this open source project to actually build a case with it, and trying to convince my peers on the company to try it out, at least for some parts of our system. If I'm not mistaken, muzak has configurations that you can like say, hey, test it only for this thing or only this mutator. Oh, so here there are multiple configurations. So configuration muzak. All right, they have also muzak Pro. So it's not merchandising, but hey, muzak is totally open source and you have a lot of things, but some additional configuration you only have with muzak Pro. So yeah, maybe you might want to take a look at it too for your like not open source stuff. Maybe there are valuable mutations there and configurations there. So I'm just not sure, and not even sure how much does it cost. It doesn't say here. All right, muzak Pro is full-featured paid version of muzak, includes no limit of number of generated mutations. Oh, so yeah, there is like a hard limit for non-pro users. Yeah. So Devon's trying to make a little bit of money out of it, and I think it's I mean like $29 a month. It's not a huge amount for the value that you actually get from it. I mean, I really think that testing, that good testing, is really key for a successful company. So maybe yeah, maybe I would totally pay that if I was a company owner, and of course I would convince myself of that, right? Because then I would be the developer. But as a developer, I'm really keen to see how much this can actually add value. I mean, there were only 500 mutations generated for and already it got like 297 survived mutations. So the mutation that failed before was the weekday one. the valid weekdays one. Let's see if it's still happening. Oops. Don't ask again, please. Valid weeks. So this is far up there. Wanting. Why didn't it actually fail? It should be failing. It looks like my test didn't actually work. Let's try it out like ourselves, like changing the valid weekdays here. And rerunning the test. It didn't. It's true. Why? Valid weekdays. This test should actually fail. 0 or 8. Why? I mean, it should be throwing a function clause error here. Never mind. My test was again wrong. Like it was passing when it shouldn't be. So again, like this time I wrote a test that I was expecting it to fail when I changed this to 10, right? But it was not failing, and muzak got that. So points for you, muzak. So now mixed test should fail, and now muzak should fail too, because then it's should actually pass on that single case there. So 7 here. And now it should actually fail. Good. I wonder how many people actually got that. Like, how many of you actually got that? I changed the weekday here to W day and I didn't change it in here. And because of that, the test would actually never fail. This test, like testing 0 and 8 as weekdays, would never fail because of that. Interesting. So, never mind. Wrong tab. Yeah, I guess this would be it for today. I mean, I'm going to wait for it to finish, right? And yeah, I really liked it. I mean, what I actually didn't like it is this info application stopped thingy. Maybe there's like a configuration for it. Log. No. Nothing fun and related to log, but yeah, I don't actually mind that much to care. I'm almost sure that we can actually fix that by saying something like config test, right? So config logger level warn. I'm going to exit. Yeah. Yeah, cool. So it was actually logging that because I was not configured to only log for warnings and errors on the test environment. So I'm thinking that this F, every single F that I get here is not actually at my tests failing themselves, but actually muzak failing. So when you see a dot here, it's saying, hey, I changed your code and one of your tests failed. So it's okay for these cases. And if you see a F here, it means, hey, I changed your code and no test failed. So you have to test this, this thing here. So as you can see, most of the mutations that it tries actually fail, right? No test fail. It's kind of hard to say that. So basically, most of the mutations do pass, right? Do pass without any failed test, which is bad. It means like this library is not very well tested, which is probably true for most libraries, right? I mean, oh, I see. Now you're getting more dots. Oof. Yeah, I guess I'm going to try out, like, to kill most of these mutation failures in the future. Pretty interesting. Do you guys have any questions? Do you four guys that are there, like, feel free to comment. Let me go through the actual list of configurations, so mutations. Oh, you can actually say, hey, generate only 30 mutations. Interesting. So seed, yeah, that you can get the seed probably when it finishes. It says, hey, this is the seed I used. So as you saw, it was 297 mutations that actually survived. So now only 296 survived, which means 41% of the mutations actually passed. So more than 50% of the mutations generated didn't generate any test failure. So interesting. So let's go through. So the profile, right? Oh, you can have multiple profiles. So on CI you have like one set of configurations, and on your local machine another set of configurations. Cool. Mean coverage. Oh, so yeah, you can say, hey, I want 85% coverage, mutation coverage, right? Cool. So I have a 41 right now. So what I could do is say, hey, muzak, the mean coverage I expect is 40%, and if by any case other people actually introduce more code and this code is not well tested, it's going to go down this coverage here, right? Because more mutations are going to get generated, and if there's no test for these mutations, we're going to get a downgrade on this percentage. Pretty cool. Only, oh right, so yeah, this is the option I said. Only is you restrict the mutation generator for a single file. For example, you have this user file that you actually want to test if the user file is well tested or not. So you can, I guess it's just 40. Right? You can then say, hey, test only this file, and it will generate mutations only for that file. And so it will not take forever to run, hopefully. So yeah, I liked it. Let's see the difference here. Generated one more test. Installing and configuring muzak. This will actually fixes number 22, I guess it's the issue. And I'm going to commit it to the same PR, because I mean, There's no reason why not. It's just a library, and I'm not saying, hey, you must use it. But I really liked it, so I'm going to push it. Really liked the tool. Really liked the tool a lot. Pretty interesting. Maybe I can put it to run on GitHub Actions. I'm not sure if there is any way to configure GitHub Actions to run periodically, right? Once a day it runs that. I don't know. Maybe. Periodic table, periodic GitHub Actions. Running. All right. There is schedule. Schedule. Yeah. There is like the schedule option. Interesting. Yeah, maybe for next live, because right now it's time for lunch here, and yeah, that was a short live, but I want to keep them short. I mean, I want to make sure that no one is bored of the lives after watching it, like watching past lives. But yeah, maybe in the future I'm going to do other kinds of live streams, like side projects that I'm thinking of doing, or even I have this idea of trying to do clones of well-known tools like Trello or Twitter or even Facebook. I don't know. So trying to create clones of the apps on Phoenix Live View, which is a tool that I really loved. So yeah, I guess that's it for today, guys. And the test's already passed with my muzak thingy here, and I guess see you next time, right? Bye.